Hello and welcome to our Monday Night Bible Study. We are continuing our look into the book of Ecclesiastes, and everybody will be thrilled to know that we're going to get through chapter 3 today. It's going to be just good news for all concerned, and then we've only got several more chapters to go. This is lesson 9, I think, and I will be honest, I did not think that this was going to take this long. I thought this was going to be kind of a short one, but I was wrong, and I'm frequently wrong. And so it's something that I'm used to, and so I don't really get offended at myself for being wrong as much as I should, probably. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse number 16. Moreover, I saw under the sun that in the place of justice, even there was wickedness, and in the place of righteousness, even there was wickedness. I said in my heart, God will judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time for every matter and for every work. I said in my heart with regard to the children of man, that God is testing them to see that they may see that they themselves are beasts. For what happens to the children of man and what happens to the beasts is the same. As one dies, so dies the other. They all have the same breath, and man has no advantage over the beasts, for all is vanity. All go to one place, all are from the dust, and to dust all return. Who knows whether the spirit of man goes upward and the spirit of the beast goes down into the earth? So I saw that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his work, for that is his lot. Who can bring him to see what will be after him? Moreover, I saw under the sun that in the place of justice, even there was wickedness, and in the place of righteousness, even there was wickedness. Justice and righteousness remained.
Hello and welcome.
So justice and righteousness remained as they were. They did not. Did not change. It was not as though, because of the influence of the people who were unjust or the people who were unrighteous, it did not mean that justice and righteousness had somehow been lessened. We don't. Truth is God's truth. Justice is of God. Righteousness is of God. And no matter how unjust I am, no matter how much power I may have to influence and to affect my unjust ruling, I can't have an impact on justice in itself. The places, but Solomon is saying the places that were designed to protect people, the places that I'm supposed to be able to look to. I'm supposed to be able to look to the courts. I'm supposed to be able to look to the church. I'm supposed to be able to look to the place of justice and the place of righteousness as a guiding post, as a sign, as something that I can set myself towards and say, this is always going to be a safe place. Those places had become corrupt, and it was not about back alley dealings. It was not about somehow some smoke-filled back room or whatever where this bad stuff was happening. This bad stuff was happening in the open, and people could see it, and you could see that justice was being perverted and that unrighteousness was being called righteousness.
Hello and welcome.
But the thing that you can hold on to is the way that you know that unrighteousness is being called righteousness is because there is a standard. There is righteousness. The way that you know that justice is being perverted is that there is justice. It is unjustness is a deprivation of the good of justice. And so you're not having an impact on what God says and an impact on what God does and an impact on what God has decreed. But what you are doing is you are accepting a lesser thing. You are moving into a lesser thing when you have when justice does not prevail. So he says, I look and I see what man does, and man perverts the things that are given to them for their good. Man perverts the things that are given to them for their flourishing, for the ultimate good of mankind. And so because you can't see the end, because you don't see the end, because you don't realize that all is vanity, because you haven't looked at these things and you haven't been able to, you haven't grasped the lessons that Solomon is teaching here. That you are allowing unjustness and unrighteousness to produce something that you think is going to build a legacy for yourself. And so he says, I said in my heart, God will judge the righteous and the wicked, for there's a time for every matter and for every work. So he says in his heart, and he's going to say this again, we're going to repeat this later, this is not a public thing. This is not a public proclamation. This is not him standing in the market square and declaring something. He is saying, this is a thing that I know. This is a thing that I know in my heart. I know.
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
I can look around and I can see the bad things that are happening, but I know that God is going to judge. Not that God might judge, but that God will judge. And so he says there's going to come a time, just as there's a time to live and a time to die and a time to be born and a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. There is a time that God is going to judge. God's not going to be caught off guard. God's not going to be confused.
Hello and welcome. Hello. And
eventually there will be justice, but that doesn't necessarily make it easier, right? And it's not intended to make it simple. It's not intended to make it easy. Because we know that God eventually will judge, because we know that God will eventually come and set things right, it doesn't make today's injustice hurt less. It doesn't make today's injustice feel somehow easier to bear. I'm waiting for justice, and I want people to receive their just desserts and all that stuff.
Hello and welcome.
And it doesn't necessarily make me feel better to know that it becomes later, but this is not about some sort of cheap platitude and comfort that you can just kind of, you don't worry, everything's going to work out all right in the end. It's not about that. It's about a foundational understanding about the nature and the person of God. Something that you can hold on to, you can cling to when everything else goes wrong. Eventually God is going to judge, and that is either the most comforting thing that you will hear in this entire lesson, or it is the scariest thing that you're going to hear in this lesson, and it really just depends on what side of the judgment you're standing on. So again, he says, I said in my heart, with regard to the children of man, that God is testing them, that they might see that they themselves are but beasts. For what happens to the children of man and what happens to the beasts is the same. As one dies, so dies the other. They all have the same breath, and man has no advantage over the beast, for all is vanity. All go to one place. All are from the dust, and to dust all return.
Hello and welcome.
People understand, or people should understand,
hello and welcome,
that they share a common fate with every other living thing on the earth, from the greatest, most powerful human on the face of the earth down to the tiniest single-cell organism on the face of the earth. All of us are going to die. This is the nature of life after the fall. This is just the way it is. This is the result of sin. This is the result of man disobeying God. This is the result of man grasping to himself what only belongs to God. And Solomon's not trying to hide that. Solomon is not trying to make us feel better about it. In fact, he's making me uncomfortable with what he said. I mean, when I'm when I'm typing this out and studying it all, it's some relatively uncomfortable passages that we're going to go into, because we all want to think that we're special. All want to, I matter and I'm different and I'm whatever. God loves me and God has given me a revelation. All that stuff is true. But at the end of the day, I'm still flesh. At the end of the day, you're still flesh. At the end of the day,
hello and welcome.
What I am is not anything special in me. It's not me that makes me special. It's not It's not what I can do. It's not what I can accomplish. It's not my wisdom and intelligence and goodness and greatness. It's not, nothing in me can make me any better than because the end result of all of us is going to be the same. To dust we are, and to dust we're going to return. And that matters. That's the dog, and that's the person, and that's the horse, and that's the plant. All of us are going to go back to the earth that we came from. And boy, we don't want to think about that. We don't want to consider the fact that we're just going to
Hello and welcome.
We're just going to return. There's just going to be a cycle. And so if I'm going to be elevated, if I'm going to be different, if I'm going to make a difference, it is going to be something that comes from outside of me. It's going to be not something that I find in me. It's going to be because there's something external to me that has lifted me above the other stuff. So who knows? Boy, this one. Who knows whether the spirit of man goes upward and the spirit of the beast goes down into the earth?
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
Prove it.
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
Is he trying to cast doubt on the resurrection? Is he trying to cast doubt on the afterlife? Is he trying to say that maybe we're all the same and maybe there's nothing you can do about it? Maybe everybody should just do whatever they want to do? I don't really think that's what he's happening. But so he's talking about what happens under the sun. What can I know empirically? What can I know to be true? What can I discover with a test tube? What can I study? What can I put in a Bunsen burner? When you're in high school, what can I put in a beaker and a flask and a Bunsen burner and a test tube and distill? What can I find out empirically? I don't have a way to study physically what happens after death. I don't have a way to study right now what happens after I die. He's not denying God. He's understanding. He's saying this is the limit of human knowledge. This is all that I can do. This is the farthest that I can go. All I can go is I can go to the grave. I can go to death. I don't have the ability to explain all this other stuff that's happening. And this goes against the idea that I'm special. This goes against the idea that somehow I'm a little God and I can make my own destiny and I can make my own decisions and I can stand up for myself and I can do all these things for myself. And it's all of my power and all of my status and all of my achievements somehow give me a permanence.
Hello and welcome.
It doesn't. It challenges us.
Hello and welcome.
The person in the courtroom that thinks they've escaped judgment because they fooled the judge. They think they've escaped judgment because they fooled the attorney, they fooled the people, they fooled the jury. They haven't escaped judgment. The person who grasps at and claws and lies and cheats and steals to try to accumulate and try to get things and try to heap to themselves more money and more wealth and more power and more fame and all of this stuff, they're living as though they can outrun death. And Solomon says, you can't do that. You're mortal. You're creaturely. You are going to return to the dust
Hello and welcome.
From which you are made. And so,
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
From Solomon's view, look,
welcome.
we're on this side of the resurrection, right? We can see this differently. We can look at this differently. We have something that Solomon doesn't have. We've got an empty tomb that we can point to. We have the one who said, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I'm raise it up. I will raise it up. He allowed himself to be laid in a grave, and then he rolled a stone away and he walked out. I have the one that says, I'm the resurrection, I'm the life, and whosoever believes on me, though he die, yet shall he live. I have all that. Solomon didn't have it, but this is what Solomon still gives us. He doesn't let us use the resurrection as an excuse to skip over our own mortality. He doesn't let us skip over the real grief of the grave, the realness of death, the fact that we are all going to die. Our limits, our limitations, our hurt, our pain, the weight of our own end, the real truth that we are not God. No matter how much I want to be, no matter how much I think I should be, no matter how good I think I would be at it, I'm not God. This is not an enemy of the resurrection hope. This is the soil from which my faith can grow because I don't know what happens. I don't know what it's like to die because I've never done it before, but I do know somebody that has. I don't know what it's like because I don't know what it's like to raise from the dead because I've never done it before, but I do know someone who has. And because I have that relationship, my faith and my understanding of the nature of God, my understanding of the person of God, my relationship with Jesus, these are things that can give me hope beyond a thing that I can know. And this is where faith is. Faith is not about wishing that good things happen. Faith are going to happen to you. Faith is not about just me hoping that somehow everything is going to work out all right. Faith is about me knowing and understanding that God has it in control and that God is going to do what is best for me eternally, regardless of what it looks like here. This is where faith can grow. And so I can say, I'm going to go to the limit of my understanding. I'm going to understand everything that I can about here. I'm going to read. I'm going to study. I'm going to pray. I'm going to pick up my Bible. I'm going to develop a relationship with God. I'm going to know everything that I can know about God now. But there comes a limit where I can't know. And in that place, but that gap is where my faith can say, based on what I already know about God, I'm going to trust Him that I am going to go somewhere after death, that there is going to be more because He said there's going to be more, and have trust Him. Everything else He said was true, so I'm going to continue to trust Him that this is true. And He said, so I saw, in light of all this, that there's nothing better that a man should rejoice in his work, for that is his lot. Who can bring him to see what will be after him? And so this is this.
Hello and welcome.
We get to the end of this section, and it concludes like he finishes the previous section. There's nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his work. Who can bring him to see what's going to be after him? How's he going to understand what comes later? So what we have left to do is we enjoy the present. So he looks at unrighteousness, he looks at injustice, he looks at death, and he says, you know what? All this stuff's out of my hands. I can't control any of it. The courts are corrupt, and I'm not in charge of the courts. There are people in the church that are hypocrites, and I'm not in charge of any of that. But what none of that can do is take away from me this moment. It can't take away this Monday. It can't take away this devotion. It can't take away this prayer. It can't take away this Bible study. It can't take away this day at work. It can't take away me doing my best to live for God today. It can't take away me working and praying and dealing with my family and dealing with my coworkers and dealing with my boss and dealing with the people that work on all of that stuff. It can't take away me doing the best that I can do today, no matter what is going on around me. I don't have to worry about it because God has given me today your work. Your ordinary, everyday, boring work is a gift from God. You look, the book of Acts. We love the book of Acts. It's awesome. I love the book of Acts. I did a whole series on the book of Acts. It's fantastic. You should read the book of Acts. It's 27 chapters. It's amazing. It's 27 chapters written sometime, but started around the year 30. Ending at around the year 64. It's 34 years in 27 chapters, compressed into. There's not even a chapter per year. All this stuff happens.
Hello and
but we don't have a record of all the boring stuff. We don't have a record of all the random Tuesdays where Paul just got up and went back to the synagogue and just sat down and taught people again. When Lucius and Jonathan just kind of hung out and talked about the goodness of the Lord and just lived their life every day. Every day is a gift from God. Every day of my life is a gift. I cannot control what comes after this. I cannot I can't guarantee a legacy. I can't secure a future beyond a grave, but I can be present here. I can be present today. I can work faithfully. I can receive today for the gift that it is. So many times parents and grandparents and children, a child, you go to school, you go to kindergarten because you're looking forward to going to first grade. You go to elementary because you're looking forward to going to junior high, or middle school. You go to middle school because you're looking forward to going to junior high, and you go to junior high because you're looking forward
Hello and welcome.
to go into high school. You go to high school because you're looking forward to going to college. You go to college because you want to get a job and you want to get a career. You get a job and you get a career and you want to get a family, and so you want to get married. And so you get married because you want to have kids. You want to have kids because you want those kids to do well, and those kids are born, and those kids do. And so every day we live looking forward to tomorrow. There's going to be something coming tomorrow that's going to be better. There's going to be something coming tomorrow that's going to make a difference. Tomorrow's going to fulfill me. Tomorrow I'm going to be happy. Tomorrow there's going to be some magic thing. And so I never stop to enjoy what God has given me today. And it's the two things that we get so wrong in our culture. First, we get so obsessed with legacy. What do I do? How am I going to matter? How am I going to make a difference? I'm going to reach for something that lives after me. I want to be important. I want to make sure that people know my name. I want to be remembered. I'm going to build monuments. I'm going to build buildings. I'm going to build wealth. I'm going to be powerful. I'm going to do something that's going to outlast me. And Solomon says you can't see what comes after you, so you might as well just let that legacy idea go. And the second thing is we fixate on things that there's nothing we can do anything about. They built a whole talk radio industry on making people mad to try to fix stuff that they don't have the ability to fix. I can listen to right-wing talk radio. I can listen to left-wing talk radio. I can look at my Facebook feed, and I can get mad at all of the things that are going on in Washington and then around the world, and I can say the president's doing stupid things, or the Congress is doing stupid things, and I don't understand, and so I can get mad about it, but I can't do anything about it. It's not going to change anything no matter how mad I get. So I can spend my whole day mad because I don't think the president should have done something, or I can spend my whole day mad because I don't think some congressman should have done something. And it doesn't affect my life in any way except making it worse, because now I'm mad at people that didn't have anything to do with it.
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
I can't fix it. I can't do anything about it. So why do I spend time worried about it? And so I believe Solomon would say, rejoice in your work today. Rejoice in the thing that you have right now. Do the thing that you're assigned to do today, because both of these extremes are rejecting the sovereignty and the nature and the power of God, because we don't trust that God can handle the things that God's going to handle. So,
hello and welcome.
What do we do with all of it after I've gotten all worked up?
Hello and welcome.
I think the first thing we do is that we trust God to be a righteous judge even when we can't see it. You will see injustice this week. You will. 100% you will see injustice. You will see people that are being mistreated. You may be mistreated. You may work at a place where injustice is all around you. You're going to hear a verdict that you don't like.
Hello and welcome.
And you can say in your heart, God will judge.
Hello and welcome.
It's not my problem.
Hello and welcome.
It's just not. Even if I'm the one that injustice is being done towards, God will judge. It's not a threat.
Hello and welcome.
It's an anchor.
Hello and welcome.
It's soil in which my faith can grow. It's a rest for my soul that God will judge.
Hello and
Secondly, we're just creatures, right? We are created. It's a gift. The fact that God chose to create you is a gift. I'm not God. You're not God. You are not meant to be God. I have limits. We can accept those limits. I can accept my own mortality. I can accept my own finitude. I can accept my own need for rest, my need for community, my need for help. All of these things are not shortcomings.
Hello and
these things are these are things given to me by God to be human, to be what God called me to be. I'm designed to be dependent on a creator. And the dust that I return to is not going to be the way I end up.
Hello and welcome.
But I should not be ashamed of being made from it.
Hello and
Thirdly,
hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
Just show up for today. Show up for your work. Show up for your job. Show up for your kids. Show up for your grandkids. Just be present. Just be who God called you to be. Just do what God called you to do. and do it today.
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
And that's it.
Hello and
Find
welcome.
joy in the ordinary thing today.
Hello and welcome.
And that will wrap up chapter 3. We're heading headlong into chapter 4 next week. So thank you so much for spending 24 minutes listening to me ramble. And I love you. God loves you. Lord bless you. And I will talk to you next week. Thank you.